Hello, baby.
Hello, nasty. Hello there.
Hello.
I say hello.
Hello, friend.
Well, hello, little girl.
Hello, my treacherous friends.
Hello, operator.
The beginning of everything.
Welcome back, my friends.
It's showtime.
All right, welcome to episode 292 of The Brink of Sanity. I am Jay, and with me is Marc and Bry.
Yes,
I've got deja vu.
Yes, we just had to redo it because of technical difficulties. Jay, have you looked into getting the show renamed Technical Difficulties?
I have, yes.
It's probably taken.
Yeah.
We'd be Technical Difficulties 3 on Twitter.
At least it was only 30 seconds of technical difficulties.
As far as we know now. So Jay is back on the show this week. He was out last week, but he is back based on doctor's orders.
That is fairly true, yes.
Jay, have you thought about actually going to a real doctor? As opposed to just having some just homeless guy tell you he's a doctor and then you should do podcasting. Now let me touch your penis.
Don't we have a real doctor who's sometimes on the show?
That is true, we do.
Did that doctor tell you to do a show? Because he's not even
No.
on the show with us. Where's he been?
I have no idea. Can't get in touch with him.
You cannot get in touch with him? What do you mean you can't get in touch with him?
I mean, I guess I could, but every time I try it, he's...
Actually, literally, it's really easy. I can reach out to him through Twitter, Facebook, Instant Messenger.
He's sitting right next to me. I just don't want to talk to him.
Well, he alternates. He has 1 week in the city and 1 week in Long Island. And so, I went to Long Island a couple weeks ago, and he was in the city. And then I asked him what he was doing in the city, and he was in Long Island. So we're just,
You're just ships passing in the night, huh?
I know.
Yep.
It's very sad.
Well, why don't we get back in the show with one of the weeks he's in the city? Okay.
Sounds good.
Anyway, so your doctor, what kind of doctor was this that told you to do podcasting? And do you have a malpractice suit against him?
It was a psychologist, and he basically said I should be making more time to do things that I find enjoyable.
And you find this enjoyable?
Well, oddly enough, I don't find studying for the CPA or my job enjoyable.
Well, maybe you'd be more successful at both if you found them enjoyable, Jay.
Probably.
It would be
So, Jay, you're officially the guy from Office Space now, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Do you actually? So Jay, you're going to be able to do people's taxes, right? That's what CPAs, they can do people's taxes.
Yeah.
So you know something about doing taxes, right?
A little bit. I feel like the majority of what I'm studying is not going to be applicable to anything I ever do in my life.
Do you not learn how to fill out taxes? What are you learning?
1 out of the 4 tests has anything to do with filling out tax forms.
What are the other 3 tests on? The history of the NBA?
A lot of it is like right now I'm studying leases, which I'm never going to deal with. The operating versus capital leases and how to account for interest and all. I'm never going to do any of this.
Are some people that are CPAs, do some of those people do that stuff?
Yeah, basically each chapter is something somebody would do, and the other 90 chapters is basically just making you memorize stuff that you're never going to do.
Well, maybe they don't want to hold you back, Jay. Maybe they're like, Jay, the world is your oyster. You could do capital leases. You could do lots of things, Jay. We don't want to hold you back. Have higher expectations. Signed, CPA exam.
I mean, there's a chapter on economics. There's finance. There's tax.
So there's a chapter on all the stuff you need to be a successful CPA, basically.
I guess. I don't
Oh.
know.
So tell me if I have a good accountant. So we use an accountant for our taxes. So 2 years ago, he called me up and 2 years ago, this is our 3rd year, I guess our 4th year using him. So 3 years ago, he said, he sent me an email, everything's done with your taxes. You just need to write us a check for $55,000. And I was like, I almost had a heart attack on the street. Turned out he just calculated stuff wrong. And I was like, oh no, you owe whatever it was. But it was obviously not even near $50,000. So first error.
Jay,
last
can you file people's taxes without a license? Because what are you doing with Mark's taxes 3 years ago?
last year we get a statement right after our taxes are filed saying we owe like whatever amount of money in New York City taxes. Like, and we have to get this, send it to a big check like within like a week. And I was like, oh, funny. We don't live in New York City. Why is my accountant a goddamn moron? And I call him. He's like, oh, I accidentally checked the box saying you live in Manhattan. I was like, oh, could you uncheck that and fix that? Because I'm going to lose my mind. So he fixed that. So he sounds like a good accountant, right?
Wow.
So,
why,
Jay, I think you have your first customer.
So
yeah,
like
I mean,
this year.
if this is the kind of guy who's making money, I feel a lot better about my chances now.
Oh my God! So this year, when you have children, one of the tax breaks. Well, maybe Jay knows this. What kind of tax break can I get when I have a child?
You get a deduction for each kid you have.
I don't even. Do I get a deduction for each kid? I get dependent. You can get dependent care expenses.
Is your accountant Jewish?
I think so.
Oh, man. Well, then he's not representing your people very well.
No. So one of the things is dependent care expenses. So you get a certain amount of your expenses. I think it's up to like a maximum of $6,000. They take 20% of that, which maybe you could have told us. But anyway, so the guy he made an email, and he also, as part of it, we pay our nanny. We pay our nanny on the books, and so he fills that part out also. And so he emails me he's like everything's good with your taxes. Only thing is, do you have any dependent care expenses? And I was like trying to figure out like, oh, we went to camp, whatever. I'm looking for bills, and I'm like, hey, what about our nanny? Doesn't paying our nanny count? And he wrote me back, oh yeah, you're right. Okay, you're good. Never mind. I don't need any more receipts. You hit your maximum there. I was like, he's filling out part of the thing is filling out taxes for our nanny, and he forgot we had a nanny while doing our taxes. And I realized I looked back last year, he didn't know we had one either last year, even though he fills that part of the taxes out also.
Yeah, he sounds really terrible.
He was recommended by a friend of mine. I'm getting someone new next year. Jay, if you could pass the CPA in time, maybe you could be my accountant.
I would definitely know that you have a nanny, and that counts. And I'd know that you don't live in Manhattan.
Just basic.
Those are about the only two things I know about you.
Did you know that Florida has solved the major issue facing its state?
The rapper?
No, not Flo Rida. Which I didn't realize right away that was Florida. It took me like
2 years.
Yeah, it took me way too long. Bri, did you know that? Is Bri still on the show?
What?
Bri,
I didn't know you were talking to me.
Do you know who Flo Rida is?
No.
It's Jay's stage name.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, Bri, do you not plan on being on the show this week?
No, I planned on it.
Okay. So what's the major problem? The biggest thing you think, like if Florida had to cure one thing, major emergency, what should the Florida legislature be working on?
Having their people vote properly.
By not voting for them, you mean?
Well, I mean, just getting ballots that aren't harder than the CPA exam to figure out.
They just had a school shooting. A lot of kids died. It was really sad. And they solved the problem.
There was a school shooting in Florida?
They solved the problem. So they solved the problem by they're going to daylight savings year round. That's the latest
what do you
thing
mean? They have one time and they don't do the fallback spring forward thing?
No, so that's opting out. So apparently Arizona and Hawaii opt out, and they don't.
Yeah, I know Arizona does.
So this weekend, I guess we all spring forward, right?
Yep.
So they want to spring forward, and they just keep that forever. So I guess that's called the daylight savings. Once we spring forward, you're on daylight savings at that point. So they want to do a different way than Arizona and Hawaii, which have just opted out. They want their own time. Like you'll be in Atlanta, and Florida will be in a different time than you are.
Well, how are they going to do that? Because Florida has two time zones. The Panhandle part, like up where when we were in Panama City, that's an hour back.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Well, maybe the state is just going to be completely fucked up.
Maybe everyone just makes up whatever time they want.
I mean, could you have a dumber state? They're like, guns, schools? Okay, let's work on that time issue.
It's like, you're late for work. No, I'm on J time. It's only 8:30 here.
If they just said like, hey, we all were pretty drunk when we came up with this. You kind of like, okay, sounds good.
Somehow
Well,
that's just a ploy to get more people to go to Disney World for longer.
I think you're right though. I think we should be able to all opt out individually. Like Jay's like, hey, I'm on Pacific time. Okay, you're not late. I guess you're 2 hours early. Good job, Jay.
So you
mean,
have to stay 2 hours late.
This is
Later today, I'm going back to Eastern Standard Time later.
yeah. I work 5-hour days now. I mean, this is the same state that when there was a school shooting, their solution was to put "In God We Trust" on every school.
Isn't it the same? They also declared porn to be a national health crisis, not guns. And did they have an issue where they had there was a big tornado and they told the people in their state not to shoot at the tornado?
Yeah, they had to tell people not to shoot at it.
That's a real thing that actually happened.
Yep.
Yeah. So Jay, this doctor of yours, what was the? Tell us why. Tell us more about this. Can we reenact the scene?
No, we cannot reenact the scene.
Good, Jay. I'm your doctor. Tell me everything. Put your hand on my head Put your head on my lap.
Now, did you tell your doctor that you felt threatened because we did such a good show without you? Is that why you're back?
No.
All my anxiety is due to the fact that Brian's a much better co-host than I am.
I mean, he basically, because I'm in a dark place right now, so he told me to do more things I like.
I thought you were going to say I'm an adult, but okay, dark places.
No,
I didn't realize that's where you were going with it.
I got this like phone game that's called Plague Inc., and the whole point is to just create a plague that kills all of humanity. So I've been playing a lot of that. And
I didn't know.
Yeah. Video games don't cause problems. Sure, they don't.
I didn't know our listener Steven made his own video game.
Yeah.
And I've been watching a lot of videos of fights. And that's about it.
Bum fights.
It's called Hood Fights. It's on YouTube. It's on Facebook.
So what happens here?
It's just videos of people fighting each other.
Are you going to get into this?
No, I'm a complete pussy. I'm not going to fight anybody.
Tell us more about your dark place you're in.
I mean, there's not much more to it. I'm just like moody, and I'm just watching and playing horrible, dark things.
Does your girlfriend think you're in a dark place?
No, she knows I'm in a dark place.
She's like, this is what I live with. You give an hour with him on a show. I have the rest of the time.
She deals with me when I'm like laying on the couch, clutching my chest, trying not to die from a panic attack.
Does she just, at that point, does she think back about her childhood dreams and just want to kill herself as a child?
Yeah, she's like, I didn't really sign up for this.
My knight in shining anxiety.
Yeah.
Is this everything you dreamed life would be, Jay?
Oh, this is, yeah. I mean, I'm peaking right now.
This show's getting really dark, too. Let's move
this
on.
is the dream here.
Yeah, let's do something else.
My kid anecdotes for the week, as I'm doing them every week now. My daughter was holding an ice pack, and she said, "Daddy, do you need an ice pack?" And I said, "No, I don't." And then she punched me in the arm and goes, "How about now?"
Jay, was that the video you watched?
Yeah.
And my son's new thing now is
Jay, you're gonna have to scare his kids straight.
yeah. My son. By the way, did the therapist tell you to do the Nick show too, or was it just Brink?
He said do what I like, and I don't really like the Knicks anymore, so I don't know.
Yeah, but you can't possibly like coming on this show and have me and Mark just attack you and show you how pointless your life is once a week.
Kind of nice listening to the parts you weren't talking about me. But
speaking of that, how did we do without you, Jay? In your opinion?
I enjoyed it. I liked it.
Good. We're up to one listener.
All right.
We should just get we're gonna build a show around ex-hosts. The show.
Yeah, can we just get like Rob, John, and Dustin and just have them do a show for us?
Yeah, that's not bad. I kind of like the show when I'm not on it. I find it like I'm amazed how bad this show does because I really enjoy listening to it when I'm not on it.
Yeah, I don't get why there's like no listeners. But
did you try to make your therapist a listener?
Hey,
while you're at it, here's a Knicks pen and here's a Brink card.
We were talking last year about how the show was growing and we were getting all these listeners and we were doing pretty good. We found out that there was an error in the numbers reporting and we actually have like nothing.
Well, the Nick show is actually doing well, but so to speak, I mean, especially compared to this crap.
Yeah.
Compared to the Knicks.
This show, we have some listeners, and they're loyal listeners, but they're few and far between, right?
Yeah, it's like almost every listener of the show is a loyal listener.
Mm.
I'm glad we have loyal listeners, but it's like, it's a large portion of our listenership. Like,
And most of them are just like us, where they're mentally unstable. So,
yeah.
What do you think is a bigger number? The number of listeners we have, or number of kids that have been taken down in school shootings?
this year or in
Ever.
general?
General.
Oh no, ever forget it. Way more kids.
You know what actually hasn't happened in a while? School shootings are the new thing, and I don't mean to really joke about it. But you know what we haven't had in a while? There's been no postal shootings in a long time.
Yeah, it's because
it's
everyone's
true.
emailing.
You remember that as a thing? I think like everyone, like your local post office worker would be like, "Hey, what's going on? Oh, stamps. I'm gonna kill everyone here." That was a big thing for a while.
It was, yeah.
And so I'd say school shootings are much more horrific. So at one point, 15 years from now, we'll look back with fondness for school shootings because something even more horrific will happen.
Cool. This really is a dark show.
It's a dark show. My other kid anecdote is my son. His new favorite thing is that I'll say something like, "Hey, Zach, you should try baked yams because yams are really good." That's your opinion, Dad.
Wow.
Anything I say, he goes, "That's your opinion." Like shouts it at me. I'm like, "Are you? Did your teacher tell you to shout?" Like I'm glad you understand the difference between an opinion and a fact, but you're shouting it at me.
I gotta tell you, having kids sounds like a lot of fun.
Is your kid in high school already? Jeez.
Yeah, no, he's not even 7 yet.
You get punched and insulted. This sounds great.
My daughter punched me. That was like I couldn't even believe that just happened. And my anecdote about so we have these lights down. You know, like you have light bulbs in your house, I assume, right? In your apartment, you got light bulbs, Jay?
Not
Just
Jay's. He sits in the dark now.
Yeah, just candles.
Jay's in a literal dark place.
Jay just has candles that he's trying to knock over.
So you like everyone, you're supposed to use like fluorescent. You're supposed to use what is it? What kind of light? What's it called? Not fluorescent, but
Neon.
The halogen ones.
the halogen ones, right?
I just
Yeah.
have
So-
five candles in the shape of a pentagram.
And like the devil's like, I ain't going there.
He's like, this is too dark for me.
That shit's too dark. So what do you? So we had those lights in our house, and I had in our basement. We had like this like circular one, and I had to do a special order to get a new one. I got it, and I was trying to put it in, and for whatever reason, like it wasn't fitting. It looked like it was a little loose, and I was playing with it, and it broke. What do you do when those things break? Regular light bulbs, you clean up the glass and you just throw it away.
Yeah.
This one says it contains mercury.
I think there's special recycling for those, isn't there?
Well, yeah, I know there's special recycling, but what do you do when it's like broken in your house? You call the EPA, be like, come on over, Environmental Protection Agency. I screwed up.
You put the broken glass next to a window and hope Daniel Stern tries to break into your house.
I looked online. They're like all these special things I'm supposed to be doing. I've like air the room out. Obviously, they're like turn off your heating system because you don't want it to like get sucked into the air. And I was like, holy shit! I can't believe I have all these lights in my house that like if they break, like I'm supposed to like it's a environmental disaster.
I had no idea any of that was a thing.
I was like, I told my wife, I'm like, we're just gonna stay out of the basement for the rest of the day. I open the windows and it'll be fine.
That's probably what I would do.
That's what hopefully none of us have mercury poison. I guess we're going to find out within a week or two.
Yeah.
Speaking of evil dark things, did you know the Amazon Echo?
Yeah, we got it.
Okay.
Get it?
Did you know it's been going satanic on some people?
I heard about that.
What?
It's like just laughing randomly at people.
By the way, so we got it, and my daughter's voice is too like squeaky, and she just like tries to get it. Alexa cannot understand her, and she'll be like, Alexa, like just start like Alexa, and Alexa just doesn't respond to her because she doesn't understand her voice. It's become a problem in our house. Okay, I'm done with kid anecdotes. Go tell us.
Yeah, so apparently the thing is, it just starts laughing in the middle of the night for some people, and it's really freaking people out. And one person said it started listing a bunch of names, and they didn't know what it was, and they looked it up, and it was the names of a bunch of local cemeteries.
So people are hacking these things.
No,
I guess.
I don't know. Nobody really knows.
I mean, people have to be hacking them and like doing this to other people. Like this is like the new way to screw with people.
I mean, I think it's hilarious, but
Do you guys have this?
I do. I have not hooked it up yet. I got it for
I
Christmas.
don't have one.
They're pretty.
I think we talked about this last week.
Oh, maybe we talked about it last week.
Yeah,
It's just
you
pretty
did.
cool because you like can voice activate it and stuff.
One other person said that their mom had it, and in the middle of the night it said "Good night, Clarice," and her name isn't Clarice.
Is that from the Silence of the Lambs?
Yeah. So apparently, a lot of people are buying evil Echo Dots.
Well, there's a switch. You can switch it from evil to good. So I would leave mine in good, but I guess you shouldn't leave it on evil unless you want it to be evil.
That's the joke from the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
The Jay, do you think when you plug yours in, is there even a remote chance it won't be evil?
No, it's definitely going to be possessed. It'll probably just start summoning, like from the Evil Dead movie. It'll probably just do that chant, and I'll have demons in my house.
It'll start laughing in the middle of the night. You'll be like, Alexa, what's going on? I was thinking about your chances of passing the CPA.
I saw your CPA scores.
Yeah, so I can't wait to get that hooked up.
Yeah, it takes it's pretty easy to hook up. It's as simple as you can get.
Hopefully we can get Evil Alexa to be on the show.
Yeah, can we get Evil Alexa as part of the show?
Sure, why not?
What kind of evil things would it say to you, Jay? Would it evil Alexa in our mind? Brian and I's mind is just like it just roasts Jay at all times.
it's just you and me talking to him in a girl's voice.
If we could hack Jay's Alexa, would that be really? That'd be amazing, actually. But Jay, would you appreciate that?
I can't imagine what it would say. Definitely nothing bad about CPAs.
Only morons invest in Bitcoin. Ha 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 ha. By the way, what's up with Bitcoin, Jay?
Yeah, it's going really well. It's going really good.
It's really. It is really. Ethereum's now at 686, Jay. What the hell?
Fuck.
Yeah.
Is
Bitcoin's at 9. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm looking right now. Oh, the Cardano, 20 cents.
Mm.
Got that at 50 cents. That was a good purchase.
Yeah, me too. I got about 5,000 of those. Yeah, that's good.
Well, Stellar Lumens is at 29 cents. This shit's as worthless as it actually is.
Yeah.
Well, that helped my mood.
So you mean everybody except for us was right? I find that hard to believe.
I really figured like guys with a podcast no one listens to have figured shit out.
Stay calm. Stay calm. It'll go up.
It's almost Chinese New Year again.
Yeah, Chinese New Year anytime. You know what I love also?
Mhm.
The banner ad on WorldCoin Index has something about like no scam equals no worries. They have to advertise it's not a scam.
See? It's settled.
I feel safe.
It's settled
yeah.
now.
So Jay, how's your week at the job you love?
Oh, it just gets better and better. It's
Should we move on from Jay stuff? Brian, what's going on with you?
Not a whole lot.
This is going to be a good
just
episode.
Just a hectic week of just nonsense. I did do a funny thing. I clogged my dad's toilet the other day, and then when I was plunging it, I accidentally broke the seal on the toilet, so water just started leaking through the floor onto the ceiling downstairs.
Oh,
that was fun. Yeah.
How hard were you? I'll try to unclog it there. Were you Superman?
I didn't think I was doing it all that hard, but I guess I was. I don't know. So we had this guy, my aunt's neighbor came over, and he's like a handyman guy, so he came over, and he said the seal was fucked up anyway, it looked like, so.
Do you know how to you know how to turn the water off? Like, was something that you're like, oh, I'm just gonna turn the water off right away.
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't flooding out of the toilet. It was in the pipes. It was under the toilet, like in the.
But you got to turn the water off, right, to like stop the flooding.
Yeah, but the water was still jammed in there because there was lots of shit in the pipes. So.
Okay, so Jay, you want to tell some a shit story too?
No, I think we've met our quota for shit stories today.
And that was on the day that my dad had a colonoscopy, and I said, "Boy, your colonoscopy was the best part of the day."
Maybe not for him.
Hey, Dad, I performed the colonoscopy on the house. Did anyone bring a topic this week, or we're done?
Any of you guys watch the Oscars?
No.
Oh, come on.
No.
Did you watch the Oscars?
I watched a little of it. I saw all the movies that were up for Best Picture, so I wanted to see what was going to win.
How is the one that won? The one about the woman fucking the
Shape
fish?
of. All right, so there's 9 movies that were up for Best Picture. The Shape of Water was the 8th best movie.
What?
It was the biggest piece. It was the second biggest piece of shit I've ever seen.
It was the movie Splash, right?
No, it was E.T. is what it was.
Could you explain the movie? Just what's it about? What happens in this movie?
So there's this. No, she's not deaf. She's a mute.
Okay.
And she's a janitor, and she works in a government lab as a janitor. And she's in there one night eating her lunch, and this thing, there's like all these big like water tanks, and this thing appears like at the edge of the tank, and it literally, the director even said he ripped it off, the creature from the Blue Lagoon, or the Black Lagoon, whatever, yeah. There's like a half like fish amphibian thing, and like, so she doesn't talk, she's a mute, she does sign language. She starts signing with this thing, so apparently this thing knows sign language.
Okay.
And then I don't know. She ends up deciding she's gonna break the thing out of a top secret, highly secure lab with the help of like another lady, and somehow they.
So
did.
anything that signs with anything that knows sign language, you're like, I'm gonna get it out of the lab now.
I guess, yeah. So then she keeps the thing in her bathtub for 3 days because she wants to unleash him back into the water.
Just to interrupt you, if you pitched this movie idea to us, like you were like, I'm making a movie and this was your movie, we would make fun of you to no end.
It was horrible. It was so bad. And then she like falls in love with it. So then she floods her apartment so that they could be in the water, and they have sex in the water. And then
But she can't talk the whole time. She can't talk. Also,
she can't talk. The whole movie could have been over in 5 minutes, because then it turns out that the creature. Spoiler alert, people! Don't listen if you actually want to see this piece of shit movie. It turns out this thing, whatever it is, has like healing powers, because the mute lady lives with this guy who's bald, and then he gets a cut on his arm, and the monster touches his arm, and then he wakes up in the morning and the scars on his arm are gone. And then he touches.
Hang on, the monster's superpower is Neosporin?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, then, and the guy's also bald, and then he wakes up and he has hair. So, like, another hour goes by in the movie, and then, so then she decides that
does this creature talk?
No, he never says a word.
Do they give you, like, subtitles for when they're signing to each other?
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
That would be so funny if they didn't.
So
what the fuck are they talking about?
They have like a 20-minute conversation of them just waving hands at each other.
This is the whole point of the movie. So then she decides, okay, she's got to release him back into the wild before this government guy comes to find her. So they're waiting for it to rain.
It's always a government guy. Go on.
Yeah. So they get this big rainstorm. So they go down to the docks or whatever, and finally the guy figures out it's her. Like, who the hell else could it have been? And they show up right when they're gonna like jump off the ledge or whatever into the water. So the monster, the mute girl, the reason she's mute is she has all these scars on her neck from, I guess, when she was a kid. She got beaten or whipped or something. So the thing touches her neck, which, like, 5 minutes into the movie he could have done this, and then the movie would have been over, and it would have saved me 2 hours of my life. So he touches her neck, and then they jump in the water, and then her things turn into gills, so they live underwater, and that's the end of the movie. It's like I'm sitting here for an hour saying, if the guy if he could cure her, touch her on the fucking neck so she could talk, and I could hear what this idiot has to say. That's really like the only thing I'm sticking around for. But the movie was awful. It was so bad.
So in other words, like the Oscars become like the raspberries, the
Razzies.
the Razzies and the Oscars have the exact same picture choice.
It was awful. Out of the 9 movies, it was the 8th best movie, and the movie that was worse than that was a bigger piece of shit.
Tell us more. I am enjoying the movies by Bry.
The best movie was 3 Billboards Over Ebbing, Missouri.
What's that about?
This lady whose daughter got killed in this small town, and the police kind of gave up their investigation about it. She put up billboards, sort of, kind of antagonizing the police department to like get back into the investigation and everything.
Wait, like can Jay and I guess what the billboard said? Stop eating donuts, do your fucking job.
No, didn't say that.
Jay, your turn.
Do things better.
Actually, I don't remember what they said, but it didn't say either of those.
So
it's
no
just
more red tape. Deal with actual rape.
It's something. It had something to do with rape. Yeah,
I knew it had to do with rape. It's never like.
But it was like a little small town. So like, there's this one cop who's like, the racist cop and everything, and Woody Harrelson's the captain or the chief. He did a real good job, and it's just about like this lady trying to like egg on the police department, and like the whole town, like the police department's like against her, so they're harassing her, and it was actually really good.
If you put all the energy that you're putting into harassing me, you could have solved this crime a long time ago.
Something like that.
I want to hear about bad movies. What's the other one that you thought was even worse than the fish love story?
The movie that was worse than that was The Phantom Thread. That was by Paul Thomas Anderson with Daniel Day-Lewis. It was another movie that could have been over in 5 minutes. It was just so stupid.
What's it called?
The Phantom Thread.
Okay, so what's it about?
Daniel Day-Lewis is like this like world famous like dress designer.
Oh wow, you hooked me.
And he meets this waitress and like just swoops her out of her life and like brings her to live with him and like designs dresses for her, and like and she lives there and she like works for him and stuff. And the guy, he's a total asshole and like completely like
Brian, the whole time you were like, I would have treated you better there. You should have gone with me in this.
No, he's a total asshole. He's completely dismissive of her. He's like obsessed with his work, and like she's just sits there and takes it for like an hour through the movie, and then all of a sudden she realizes he's an asshole, so she tries to kill him, and then he doesn't die, and then she falls in love with him again because like while like she poisons him, so then when he's like recuperating, she takes care of him. So then it turns into almost like a misery situation where like she's taking care of him, and, like, so she's like, I'm in charge, kind of like she enjoys the thrill of like getting him back, and then he becomes an asshole again, and then she poisons him again, and it's just like 5 minutes into the movie you knew the guy was an asshole. Don't go with him. The movie's over. There you go.
So was she did she get arrested at the end, or they were like, you were allowed to poison assholes?
No. Well, the first time they never found out who it was, and then like kind of ended where like she was poisoning him, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm poisoning you again, and but you won't die. Trust me, and I'll take care of you again." It was awful. It was just a horrible movie.
My wife and I are into role playing. The role she plays is she poisons me, I get better, and then she poisons me again. It's a wonderful cycle. Jay, which of these lives sounds better to you? I guess marrying the fish or being poisoned by your significant other constantly? Which one sounds better than your current life?
I guess underwater fish sex. But I mean, it doesn't sound great.
I mean, you could be a world famous like dress designer. Isn't that one of your dreams?
I dabbled in college.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Daniel Day-Lewis never makes a bad movie either.
Oh, it's horrible.
I feel like most movies are pretty bad these days, and not most. I mean, they aren't, but like I feel like the quality of movies that's being released today is like because everything's going towards TV, the movies are just worse. Anyone agree with me or disagree with me?
Yeah, you're probably right.
I don't know if the movies. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of just.
What have you seen? What have you seen in the last year that you're like, wow, that was really good? I actually really liked Get Out, which you guys I don't think.
I hated Get Out. Get Out was the third worst movie. It was so bad.
Really?
It's just so uninteresting. Yeah.
I
I thought that was pretty good. Yeah, I
maybe
enjoyed it.
based on your review of Get Out, maybe maybe Splash 2 wasn't that bad of a movie.
I saw Dunkirk was part of the movie. The Dunkirk was really good.
What's Dunkirk about?
It's a war movie.
It's the 72nd World War II movie.
Literally, or 72nd World War movie, or you
No,
just,
there's probably
It was
more.
Christopher Nolan. It was about this battle at Dunkirk during World War II, where England, 400,000 troops were trapped on the beach of Dunkirk in France, and they were trying to get them back across the channel back to England.
yeah.
And so, like, they just kept getting on, like, these big battleships, and German planes just kept blowing them up, and they just swim back to shore, and then they had to figure out how to... So then eventually Churchill came up with this idea of sending, like, a bunch of, like, private, like, yachts and boats and stuff to go pick the guys up and bring them back.
Without World War II, would we still have movies? Why don't other wars catch on as much? Like, World War II is the one where they, like, you have the most movies.
And video games.
Video games, too?
Yeah, there's been a shitload.
Why is anyone into, like the Attack on Grenada?
Or the War of 1812.
Yeah, War of 1812. That should be a big movie.
Mm.
Brian, what's your favorite war?
My favorite war. Gotta go with the Revolution, baby.
I was gonna go with the War of the Roses. Jay, have you seen any movies this year? Actually, you know what I think is so. Have you guys heard of Movie Pass?
Yeah.
Brian, you know what that is?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've heard the term. I'm not quite sure what it is. I know vaguely what it is.
Have we talked about it on the show? I guess not.
I don't think so.
So what it is, for people that don't know, it's a subscription service. You pay $10 a month, and you can see as many movies as you want each month, but you can't see more than one within a 24-hour period. So you could see basically 30 movies. If you were ambitious, you could see 30 movies a month for just $10. Does this seem like a sustainable idea to you?
No, it's not. And they're reimbursing the theaters for the full price.
Yeah. So the other thing is that the theater, it's not the theater's giving a discount. This company will just pay, like the theater gets their full price. So when you go to two movies for $20, the theater's it's getting their $20. This company's just paying the extra $10.
They're collecting data. That's what they're doing.
Can you really make this much money off of data?
It seems like they're blowing an absorbent amount of money to get data.
Yeah, but to be fair though, I mean that's how Netflix started.
They started, but they were
with $10 a month. You get as many, DVDs a month to watch movies. I mean, if you were ambitious, you could watch a lot of movies when it started.
Well, when you're renting movies, you're paying like $1, $2 to rent a movie, or $3 to rent it. This is the actual movie costs like $10.
Right.
And they weren't reimbursing.
Well, I'm looking at it as a from a standpoint of how many movies can you watch a month.
Right. Well, it wasn't like they were reimbursing Blockbuster for the fee.
I mean, if you watch one a month, you're breaking even.
Yeah, one movie. Well, actually, I'm surprised. Why don't you guys get this? I have kids. I don't have the time to go see that many movies. But you guys, Brian, how many movies do you see a month?
The only time I go to the movies was the last 2 weeks right before the Oscars. They show the marathon of all the movies. That's literally, I think that's the only time I've been in the movies in the past 2 years, except for when I saw Star Wars, the two Star Wars movies. That's it.
If I didn't have kids, I feel like I would do this. I would probably go to. I would just do this. Go 2 or 3 movies a month. Why not?
It's not bad. Some movie theaters are saying they don't like it.
But there's nothing they can do. Apparently, it's like a debit card, so the movie theater has no choice of whether to participate.
I don't get why the movie theater wouldn't like it. They make like 7,000% on concessions. So why wouldn't you want a bunch more people going to the movies and buying like $9 popcorn?
Well, so the two things that I've heard is that the movie theaters, like AMC, assumes this company's going to go belly up soon, but then people are not going to understand your company went belly up. They're going to still demand to pay $10 a movie for the month, and so AMC will be screwed because people will stop wanting to pay the high prices for the tickets.
Well, people don't want to pay the high price for the tickets now.
But they do. And then the other issue they think is that if Movie Pass becomes powerful, it'll start taking from the concessions. They'll be like, well, now you have to give us concessions money. And the theater will be like, well, stop fucking trying to be the mafia on us. Like, stay the fuck out of our business.
Seems
Anyway,
like a lot of just guessing and assuming.
I think they look at this as a very unsustainable business, basically, or just something that's going to be bad for them.
You know what's bad for them? Charging $15 for a movie.
Or having the best picture of the year being some woman doing a fish.
I mean, that's why I go to the movies like once a year. Why do I want to pay like $50?
Or the fact that every movie is just a remake of another movie.
Yeah, I kind of like seeing that like on the bigger screens. I kind of like doing that, but
I like going to the movies, but there's never anything I want to see.
I wouldn't mind seeing Black Panther, but I'm not gonna go. But I don't know. It's like, I barely have time, so if I have any time away from the kids, I'm not gonna like go see a movie.
Don't you take your kids to the movies though? It seems to me like.
But then I have to get a pass for everyone. Like there aren't that many kid movies out. It's not like you can go see like multiple.
There's a
kid movies.
Pixar movie that comes out like every 2 days.
No, it's like there's only at most one kid movie out at a time. So like I think right now it's the Peter Rabbit movie, and then it'll be like some other movie, but like there aren't enough that would make the movie pass worthwhile. But yeah, I mean, like my kids like going to the movies. We just don't go that often either way. I don't know. Let's do the questions. This show is going much worse since Jay started doing with us. Maybe Jay, maybe your therapist meant no. Mark and Bri should do a lot more shows, and you should do what you like, listening to them on the show.
Lorenzo writes, "Hey guys, the Australian summer is in full effect, and last year the trend was side boob. Yesterday I went to a water park, and I was adrift in a sea of butt cheeks. Yes, the current trend is G-string swimmers for women. I think Americans call them thongs. Given that any trend here has usually happened in the USA 6 months earlier, I feel you guys should have given us proper warning to prepare ourselves. Was this your experience last summer?"
Thongs was like 15 years ago.
Side boob, though.
Is that a new thing that I'm missing?
What?
No, I'm saying has that been happening, and I just don't go to the right beaches?
I don't go to beaches, period, so...
I think between the three of us, we don't have any pigment. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, we're the three whitest.
Did you tan at all, Bri?
No.
I'm pretty sure Jay doesn't tan.
No, I just burn and then peel.
Yeah, I just turn red, and then once in a while, people like if it's like I'm in a room where it's kind of dark, they think I have a tan. Then they turn the light on and go, "No, you're just burnt."
Yeah.
That is it for emails. thebrinkofsanity@gmail.com.
We
got a. Am I reading Facebook? Or you're reading Facebook, Jay? I'll read.
Okay.
Jay wants to read it. Go for it, Jay.
All right.
Jason writes, "Is it true Jay's friend who researched crypto is died of hunger since Whole Foods does not take Ripple or Ethereum as payment for a ham sandwich?"
Is he still working there, or is he out yet?
Yeah, he's still there.
How's his job search going?
He's gone on a couple interviews.
Right. How's your job search going?
I don't know if I want to get into that on the podcast.
No comment.
Yeah.
Oh, is there a chance that anyone from your office listens to the show?
Probably not, but better safe than sorry.
Jay,
we've been fooled by that once before. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry. Jay is not doing a job search. I am mistaken. I was talking about a different Jay.
Yes, my evil twin Ray.
Ray. Is Ray also in a dark place?
He's in a light place. He's like my exact opposite.
Oh, so everything's going really well. What's going on in Ray's life? Ray is he's a very successful film editor.
Mm-hmm.
But he only works on Marvel movies.
He's got a boss that's not evil to him.
He has no debt.
He has no debt. He has a full head of hair.
Not a single
regular
mouse,
heartbeat.
not a single mouse or cockroach lives anywhere near his building, his place where he lives.
His neighbors are quiet and they bake him cakes.
He's a Golden State Warriors fan.
He does a podcast that is very, very successful.
He produces Marc Maron's podcast.
He's Marc Maron.
Though Marc Maron sounds pretty depressed also.
Yeah, that's true. Oh my God, Moby came out with a new album. I think he's about to kill himself.
What was that? The name of the
Why
album?
have you been listening to it?
It's the like saddest, darkest album I think I've ever heard.
What's it called?
Dear Jay.
Uh,
It gets
every-
better.
Everything was beautiful and nothing hurt.
Yeah.
Let's see the track titles. Mere Anarchy, Waste of Suns, Like a Motherless Child, The Last of the Goodbyes, The Ceremony of Innocence, The Tired and the Hurt, Welcome to Hard Times, The Sorrow Tree, Falling Rain and Light, The Middle is Gone, The Wild Darkness, A Dark Cloud is Coming, Check the Glove Compartment for My Suicide Note. That's a bonus track.
That's that's if you buy the full album on iTunes, you get that track.
That is a dark. I thought things would be good in Moby's life.
Yeah, I mean, I went to his vegan Mexican restaurant.
Jay, what?
You're not getting. That's not getting past us. What?
I actually went on a date. This is like 10 years ago, and he has a
Or last weekend. Go on.
he has a restaurant in the East Village, and he was like standing in front of it when I went.
Oh.
Jay, there's a million people that look like Moby.
Yeah, you're just thinking of any bald dude is like Moby.
This was
You're
before
almost Moby, Jay.
This was before the whole bald fake glasses hipster thing was cool.
Is this album all about his Mexican vegetarian restaurant not working out?
Maybe it went under. Maybe that's why he's so upset.
I don't think there's any maybe about it. I'm sure it did.
I mean, you'd be surprised. I mean, the Village people flock to crap like that.
Jay, would you trade? Let's say this podcast could have 100,000 listeners per episode,
Mm-hmm.
but you would be twice as depressed as you are now.
Or
Is that like a possible number?
I guess like would you do it? Would you take this deal from the devil?
No.
What about 1 million listeners, and your anxiety makes you bleed?
More than it does now. No.
Okay. I have a question actually. So if you guys had kids, let's say you had a kid.
Yep.
What would you rather? Would you rather your kid got busted for breaking and entering somewhere and had to serve a year in prison?
Mhm.
Or would you rather your kid be a brony? Like president of the brony fan club?
what's a brony?
Jay, do you know what a brony is?
That is a guy who is creepily obsessed with My Little Pony.
He gets sexual satisfaction from My Little Pony.
That's a thing.
That's a thing. What outcome would you rather for your kid? Being a common criminal or a brony?
Give me the criminal.
I'm leaning toward criminal here.
I am too. It's just breaking and entering. It's not like anything bad. No one's got hurt, so
Yeah.
that's a pretty like horrible outcome as far as things that
Jason writes, I always had money that it would be Bri who would commit suicide. Would I be foolish to change my bet to Jason?
Bride, do you want to carpool to Jay's funeral? Or that one? Hang on. Do you think if you had it, could you have it at the casino, Jay? Would that be okay? Can you put that in your will? So, because Bride wants to go there anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I could probably just have it at Mohegan Sun. Bri will probably be there.
Yeah. On a day ending in Y, I'll be there.
Yeah. Do you mind? Do you mind Jay having it on a day where he can get like free champagne glasses or something?
Jason writes, what has been your most stressful time?
Who is as far as the is it right now, Jay?
Yeah.
So far.
Jay, is there any period of your life that's been more stressful or more depressed than now?
Maybe when my roommate in college set that girl's room on fire and they all tried to pin it on me. That was pretty damn stressful.
That's pretty bad. I've never had people set me up for arson.
I mean, I had cops grilling me. I had the girls take his side. Like, Yeah, it was pretty stressful.
How'd you finally convince them that it was not you?
I didn't. I got suspended for a year.
Oh.
There was not
Oh
enough
yeah.
evidence to put me in jail like my roommate or permanently expel me.
Wait, your roommate went to jail?
Yeah, he was in jail and he got expelled.
I think I knew that. How long did you go to jail for?
Um, Not long. It was only like a week or two, I think. No, not even. It was only a couple days.
Arson's just like a parking ticket there.
I think they like I don't know. Like he said he did it, but like
he's he's admitted to the crime. It must be Jay, actually. But he's admitting to the crime. Yeah, but we still think it's you, Jay. But he said I had nothing to do with it. He's admitting to the crime. He has video footage of himself setting the fire. Yeah, we still want to pin it on you, Jay.
I mean, they had a voicemail that he left on the girl's answering machine saying, "Haha, your room's on fire."
Well, that could be like just like he could just meant like it's like a pretty cool place to be, like it's on fire.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how he got out of that.
But you, having no evidence against you, just like got kicked out of school.
Yeah. It's fun. Good times, huh?
What'd you do for that year you got kicked out of school?
I went to a different school.
Oh. What school did you go to?
Stony Brook in Long Island.
Oh. And the people like, oh, why are you here? I did arson.
I left that part out of the introduction.
You didn't like immediately tell people that was like your thing?
No.
Oh, I got accused. I got incorrectly accused of and convicted for arson. Anyway, want to be roomies?
Do you guys have a most stressful time?
I'm
I
always stressed.
I mean, a very stressful moment was when I got pulled over by the cops when I was driving, and I had to blow a breathalyzer and didn't know if I was going to pass the breathalyzer, but I ended up passing it.
I had that too.
That was really like, and they're like, if you don't blow it, like I kept blowing it and not getting it, and the guy's like, if you don't get it, we're just down at the station. I'm like, oh fuck, that'll help my anxiety. I don't know, life's gotten kind of expensive these days, so that's kind of stressful. Brian, what do you got?
Probably the period when my mom was sick was pretty stressful. Dealing with that. And then now, like every day of my life.
Present day, trying to deal with adulthood.
So
Yeah.
basically, all three of our most stressful times are right now, and we can't
Yes.
figure out why this show is terrible. Liam writes, has Jay looked into taking antidepressant drugs? Now at my age of 34, I'm thinking, why the hell not? I have a friend who takes them, and when he does, he acts awesome and even loses all his shyness and anxiety and talks to random women at bars. He has not lost sleep, nor have I noticed any side effects.
I call BS on that. Probably
Yeah,
probably took Ritalin or Adderall instead of antidepressant.
Jay, what if you could be anxiety free, but you had to paint your hair pink and your head pink and just go around with a pink head?
Well, I don't have any hair, so...
Just your head. Like you have a pink head now.
You have to look like a penis.
Yeah, a pink penis, but you're other than that you're anxiety free.
No, I probably wouldn't do that.
What about you can no longer wear shoes. You have to be barefoot everywhere.
In Manhattan? Hell no.
What awful thing would you do to yourself to get rid of the anxiety, Jay?
I don't even know. It wouldn't involve getting scurvy on my feet.
What if you just lose a pinky?
I'd do a pinky
Actually-
toe.
What if there was a way you could have no anxiety, but to have no anxiety, you have to have more anxiety?
A paradox. Okay, I got no. You get no more fingernails. You can take them off without like it being painful, but you no longer have fingernails.
Yeah, but the skin under the fingernails are extremely sensitive, so I'd have pain all the time.
No. Let's say it grows back and it hardens out. Like it gets like calluses, and now you just have your fingernailless Jay. But no anxiety. Would that be worth? Would you do that?
I might. That's a little weird, but Maybe.
It's a little weird. So the pink head, not so cool, but the fingernails, you're kind of cool with.
Now, who looks at fingernails?
What if you grew an extra nipple? Would that be worthwhile? Would be no anxiety?
Where?
On your forehead.
No. Liam writes, how much more of this can Jason mentally take? I mean, let's get realistic. He may not pass the CPA. It's been like 2 years already, and it's getting to be like the book, The Old Man and the Sea. Thank you, Liam. Liam writes, is Jason's panic attacks, his sleep apnea, his failed career in film editing, and his depression concrete proof that us humans cannot play nature? Is this not scientific evidence that the theory of Darwinism is actually true? Jason, maybe it's time to look into Scientology.
Jay, will your obituary just be a written transcript of the show?
It'll just be the question thread. Jason's having a funeral tonight. What questions do you have for us? And
I'm sorry to feel bad for Jay here. This is getting really bad.
Alex,
It's not usually. Are we usually like picking on you this much?
no.
It's not. You're not usually this unhappy.
This went from roast to intervention. I don't know if I like where this is going.
We don't want to help him.
This hasn't
Does
been
he-
a great episode.
No, it has not been a great episode. Maybe we should have done it without you, Jay.
Maybe.
Brian, let's talk about other things. See what else the questions have for us.
All right.
Alex writes, is it just me or is the guy who reads the terms and conditions at the end of Progressive Ed before the next podcast? Maybe this could be the next step in Jay's career if he quits his current job. Jay reads something really fast as an addition. Was that fast enough?
Yeah.
Eros writes, Mark, how do you deal with snow days and what additional costs do you have to pay since you own a house? P.S. Jason, I know what would make your life stressful, buying a house.
Yeah, that was just your house out. Like you really, Jay, with all your anxiety, you were at a house. Like you would like.
Oh yeah, shovel a foot of snow that we just got.
How much snow did you got, Bri?
We got about a foot,
Okay, we got like 5 or 6 inches. It wasn't too bad here.
and it was heavy, fucking wet, solid snow.
Super heavy wet
Heart
snow.
attack snow.
Yeah, like this is like this takes you down.
Yeah.
Some people like in Jersey got like 2 feet of snow.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's pretty. The one good thing is so my house has a very small driveway, so it's never that big of a deal to shovel the driveway. Like it could fit like a car and a half, basically.
Jay,
What do you
have
do
to
if you have
shovel
one of
out your
those-
car?
No, I didn't. We hardly got anything in the city.
Oh wait, you didn't shovel that woman that hates you?
I was kind of, you know what? I'm in such a bad mood. I was kind of looking forward to getting into a fight with that lady, but we got like, it rained so much before the snow that really we just got like a bunch of messy slush.
Yeah, the city always gets the least of it. Also,
Yeah.
did you like take any slush and throw it at our house?
No, it was pretty much all melted by the next morning.
So even the snow doesn't give you any pleasure.
No.
For the snow days, basically I took off of work because I had to watch the kids because the kids were off, and we played lots of games inside. Basically, that's what we did for the snow day, and then I shoveled at night.
Rosero writes, since Mark believes so much in control like a cuck who lost all his testosterone due to not using it, if his house was to get burglarized, since we know thieves left stealing from white folks in the suburbs, how would he defend his family?
I feel like if people broke into my house, the thieves would be really disappointed. Like we have there's nothing to steal. Like you can get like a 10-year-old TV. You can get there's like very little value in my house. You'd be like the worst. Like you'd be like, I broke in there. I just risked my. I'm gonna go to jail now, and I got like $300 worth of stuff. How would I defend my family? I don't know. I don't like. Would you guys keep do you guys keep any weapons near your bed, like a bat?
If I had a house, I would probably keep like a golf club.
Okay. So like when the person breaks in, you would leave to go golfing?
Pretty much.
Honey, I'm out. They have lights the driving range now. See what we can do about this. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully I don't get broken into with and I have to confront someone because that would be really annoying.
I have a loud dog, so hopefully no one will break in.
Would you be upset if someone broke in and your dog didn't bark? Like, what if someone broke
I
in?
kind of would because he barks at everything else.
What if you broke in and you go downstairs and all the dog is doing is licking the guy's palm?
That wouldn't surprise me.
Okay.
Rosera writes, guys, I'm starting to think Jason's crypto investments is equal to the $2 I put into a casino slot machine. I mean, a broken clock is right at least once a day. It's actually twice a day.
Twice a day.
Now that crypto is a sea of red all going down, how does Jason feel?
So you think crypto is done, or you think it's going to go back up? Like, it's going to be another surge?
I think there's going to be another surge.
I tend to agree that there has to be another surge. I just don't think it's going to be for a while. Like, you were following this beforehand. Wasn't it, like, not moving for a long time before you started investing?
Yeah. I mean, this has happened before, and it's only been down for, like, 4 or 5 weeks. It's happened before.
Has it only been 4 or 5 weeks?
6 at the most. I mean, it's not been that long.
Okay.
Because there was a big upswing, like, right around our New Year's. So, like, early January, it was still up.
Yeah, it really crashed. Hopefully, like, maybe this will get enough people out that, like, we'll look smart when we stay in it.
I think it will. I'm not that concerned. Rosera writes, what is the most exciting New York City subway story? You guys have to weather a fight, or some dude took their cock out and started to masturbate?
That would be my exciting story.
That actually did happen. Some guy was standing really close to a girl who was sitting down, and I guess he took his dick out. I was standing right next to him, and I didn't notice, but she said, like, I saw what you did, and I'm going to follow you until we run into a cop. And he's like, please don't. And, like, he got off the subway, and she followed him, and I guess she flagged down a cop.
Wouldn't it be great if it was, like, just like the arson story? They, like, the woman just, like, they all blame Jay.
Yeah.
This man was jacking off. It wasn't me. The other guy admits to doing it. But could you charge this man with it?
Good times.
Would you rather your son is a brony or gets charged with jacking off on the subway?
Probably brony.
I don't know. This was a tough one. Brony sounds pretty low to me.
I know.
Bri?
If you're a brony, you don't have to register as like a sex offender, do you?
No. There's no registering as a brony. It's just
but if you get caught jerking off on the subway, you probably have to, right?
I would think so. I would think so. I think, but if you're a brony though, you're advertising that. It's not something you're hiding. I think you're like telling the world, like, like, what are you doing this weekend? Oh, I'm gonna go to the Knicks game. What about you? I'm gonna go jerk off and let's just do some little pone. I should have said that out loud. Never, I'm gonna hide this. Never mind.
I guess I'll go with brony.
Jay, what if you got your anxiety would go away, but you became a brony? Would that be worthwhile?
I don't think so.
What if your anxiety goes away, you get triple the salary at work, and the CPA exam suddenly becomes easy to you?
Deal.
Okay, cool.
Bring on the My Little Ponies.
Okay, so just start the brony thing and everything else will work out.
Do you guys have any exciting subway stories?
I don't take the subway,
so that's a no. My exciting subway story. I was standing next to Jay once on the subway, and this woman followed me afterwards and said, like, you took your dick out in front of me.
Liam writes, Mark, how do you feel about this with your white guilt? And it's a news article that says South Africa votes to confiscate white-owned land.
Sounds good. What am I supposed to be for that or against that? Like, like in real life, I'm fine with that because probably the white people are assholes and they probably deserve to have the land taken. But what's the answer? In South Africa?
Yeah,
probably. I mean, you know that's the place where they had apartheid and they treated black people horribly for so long, and the white people have land probably because they took advantage of the black people.
I'd want to hear more details on that story.
I'm assuming there's more to this story. I'm just guessing that, like you think they're just taking it away, like, because they're being assholes?
Because they're white.
They're taking white people's land because they're white?
Yeah.
You think so? South Africa? You think it's a place where the white people get treated poorly?
It's time for payback. I don't know. I have no idea.
Is this your Me Too moment?
Jason
Do you know-
writes, so you want me to pay my artist in artist coin, pay the accountant who does my taxes in Jew coin, and pay McDonald's in fast food coin? How is the crypto investing going, and why is Jason not pull out and have real fiat cash? See, when it
Jay,
was going good, everyone was saying, wow, you called it, blah, blah, blah. And it goes down for a little bit, and now everyone's ripping on me.
Why isn't there not a crypto called Qcoin for paying your accountant? That sounds like a good one to me.
You know,
I'm shocked we've escaped some kind of like slander against the Jews.
did you know ODB's son is starting a coin?
Old dirty bastard's son is starting a coin.
Yeah.
Tell us more, Jay.
Do you know what his son's name is?
I'm gonna guess his name is as bad as his father's.
It's Young Dirty Bastard.
Oh, well, that's actually pretty good.
Creative.
Yeah.
So he's starting a coin called Dirty Coin.
Okay.
That'll probably pick up.
Jay, you want to get in on that ICO?
No, I don't think so.
What's the coin used for?
It's for artists, musical artists that are starting out.
Okay, so paying those young dirties.
Yes.
Have you started a coin for people to donate to the Brink? Brink coin?
No, I haven't had time to create my own cryptocurrency yet.
So young dirty bastard is ahead of you in life?
Yeah.
It's probably ahead of all of us, actually.
Yeah. Andrew writes, he wanted you to read the actual links this time.
Oh, okay. Let me go to this. Okay. This is the library in my town. Last chance to have your name on the wall. The Jackie Hall Spielman Children's Library. We'd love to add your name. Does he want me to read all the names?
No, I think he just wants you to...
Hi everyone. So this
Donate.
video is going to be kind of
yeah,
$1,000 to get my name on this dumb wall? I'm going to donate $1,000 through lost books to the library.
and Andrew writes, what's something different or unusual that you guys are into? For me, it's Japanese rock and indie music.
Wait, what's the other link? Hang on. The other link is to donate the money. What's something unusual? Doing podcasts that no one listens to? What's something unusual I'm into? I'm into eating black beans 5 to 6 nights a week. I started adding Tabasco sauce to my black beans. Pretty good addition.
Doing what?
Adding Tabasco sauce to my my black beans.
Oh, yeah, I like Frank's Extra Red Hot Sauce.
Wow. Now I do. I mix black beans with hummus and Tabasco sauce. It's my It's pretty good.
Try Frank's; it goes really good.
Was it Frank's what?
Frank's Red Hot Sauce. They make an extra hot version. If you don't want it too hot, then just get Frank's Red Hot Sauce.
I'll get Frank's Red Hot.
It's got a better taste than Tabasco.
Brian, what weird things are you into? I'm into black beans. What are you into?
Not into anything lately. I don't do anything.
Okay, cool. Thanks for.
I'm into being a nihilist,
but not that into it. And I'm really into Italian ice. I like to have Italian ice. Yeah, Ralph's Italian ices on Long Island are amazing. We live near one. In the summer I go there at least 10 times in the summer, maybe more.
I'm gonna start getting back into Dance Revolution.
Oh God!
Like,
is your therapist telling you to do that, Jay?
No, I hung out with my Long Island posse, and we went to Dave and Buster's, and I played Dance Revolution, and I think I'm hooked again.
Somehow I feel like you guys should did you guys take over Dave and Buster's? Like, posse's here, everyone. Jay the Posse. Could you guys play some musical instruments, start a band?
I mean, if I could convince the other 8 people to.
There are 8 people. There are 8 people in your posse.
Yeah, it's a big posse.
How do you know this posse?
Middle school and high school. Actually, some from elementary school.
Big posse.
Yeah.
Why don't you ever have any of the posse on the show? Do you tell the posse about this part of your life?
I mean, they know I have a podcast. I doubt any of them have listened.
You ever thought about giving them Nick's pens and calling it guerrilla marketing?
They probably don't know that the Long Island Posse is a feature on this podcast.
They're like, I'm in your posse? Great.
That is it for the questions.
Yeah. This is how much worse was this show than last week's show, Jay?
Oh, much, much, much worse.
What happened?
I don't know. Podcasting is weird. Sometimes like it works and sometimes it doesn't. It's not an exact science.
Bri?
Yeah.
I mean,
We got low energy level.
I think we have low. We should probably not start the episode with a list of depressing things. Going forward.
Yeah, that's true. This was a
like if we're in a good jokey mood halfway through the show, then when we talk about the depressing things, we make it funny. But when we start off with it, it kind of just, you know.
Bri, should we kick Jay off the island and do more shows without him?
Jay, what's worse, listening to me and Mark rip on you, or reading all these questions reminding you of how depressing your life is?
The
questions got pretty brutal.
Yeah, I'm thinking the questions.
I thought we were lighthearted, but the questions really were. They were pretty mean.
A little rough to this week. Okay, well, I guess that's it. Sorry, everybody.
We'll be back next
Year.
We'll be back, and you know, when you go this low, there's only one way to go. So next week we'll guarantee to be better.
Hey, do you still have that pay service thing?
Pay service. What's it called when they donate money to us, Jay?
Oh, Patreon. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
I got a funny idea for that. But it would take a lot of work on your part, though, Jay.
Why is it always my part? Why don't you guys do stuff?
Well, because it's technical.
We have a lot of good ideas that you don't execute, Jay. Like I said, we should do a Brink coin. Bri's got an idea to make you work harder, also.
No, we should do a show. We should do 3 shows, and each of the shows, Jay mutes when he records it or posts it. He leaves one of our audios out, and then if you pay for the Patreon, then you could hear the show with all 3 of us.
So you only hear 2 out of the 3 of us?
Yeah, so you'd hear like kind of out of context conversation, and then you pay, and then you hear the whole thing, and then you'd understand.
Or we find out one version of the show, like without me, is the most popular one. What if we do a version where you you pay, you get the version with the jokes?
But then we have to come up with jokes.
Yes, that's true too.
I just looked at our Nick's podcast Patreon, and a lot of people stopped.
What are we at? What were we at? What was our peak with that one?
We peaked at $44 a month, and we're
$44 a month. We got that high?
Yeah, for 1 month.
Holy shit! And what are we at now?
28.
Oh, that's still pretty good.
Yeah.
It's
never good to lose like half of your
We lost half our audience also based on the fact that Knicks are terrible.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what happened.
Well, did we lose a lot of people in the 3 weeks we couldn't do a show?
No, because 44 was January.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, the Knicks are so horrible. I understand people not wanting to contribute. I feel like I'd rather do like a one-time Patreon fee if I was like donating. I wouldn't want to do like a monthly thing. Like I don't like if I would you really want to pay monthly for any of the shows? Like there are other shows I listen to that do like the Dollop. They have a Patreon, and I was like, oh, I appreciate all their free content. I'd like to donate, but I don't want to donate on a monthly basis.
Right.
I mean, you like the Dollop? Would you contribute to the Dollop's Patreon?
I mean, if I wanted to do a Patreon, I wouldn't mind $1 a month. It's not going to kill anything.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, $1 a month is pretty low. I mean, $12 for the year is pretty low.
Yeah.
Not to argue against people doing pay. Like everyone should want to do it for our show.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so that this was a thing. Again, sorry about that.
My favorite part of the episode was when Bri was describing movies to me.
Yeah,
that was the highlight of the episode.
I think Bri should have a site where he does movie reviews, and he literally never gives a good review to any movie.
I don't even like the review. Not just the reviews. I like, especially the one with the fish, like the fish love.
Mm-hmm.
I like when Bri tells the story of a movie. I think we should have a weekly feature where Bri picks a movie and just tells the whole movie. I kind of love that, actually. Tell me that was not the highlight of the episode. That fish movie sounded absurd. I can't believe that won Best Picture.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Bri, what movie are you going to describe to us next week? Give us a couple of actions.
I don't know. I don't have any plans to watch anything in the next week or so. So,
well, there's the end of that bit.
If I see something, I will.
Brian's like, this week, I'm going to recite a McDonald's commercial.
If I catch any movies, I'll make sure to keep notes for you.
Bri, go watch Black Panther.
Yeah, can you let us know what happens with Black Panther? Or
everyone I know who's seen it has liked it.
I bet it's pretty good.
Well, that means you definitely won't like it.
And also Peter Rabbit. My kids haven't seen it yet, so if you want to go see that, recite it. You know, people were pissed off that in Peter Rabbit.
Oh yeah, the food allergy thing.
Yeah, like the story of a rabbit doesn't give what correctly happens when there's a food allergy.
People really need to stop with that shit. It's like the movie about the talking rabbit wasn't realistic with the food allergy.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, like, they're like, kids are going to see that, and they're not going to understand what really happens with allergies. They're also not going to understand how rabbits work, you fucking moron.
Yeah, it's not called School.
It's not called I'm Now His Parent.
Right. It's not Peter the Teacher. That would be a good series of movies if you just made a bunch of movies that just gave, like, completely false information.
We have the news for that. We don't need a...
It's like the rabbit just drinks all the liquids under the sink.
Yeah, the Peter Rabbit always runs with scissors, and magically when he falls, then the scissors like stab him, like candy comes out.
It's just a series of animated shows that try and get kids to kill themselves.
Like here's young Peter Rabbit drinking rum. Lots of rum. This is good for you. Out of sippy cups.
Stay tuned for next week when Peter Rabbit thinks electrical sockets are delicious.
Peter Rabbit cuts himself on his arms and love comes out. You know, I don't think it was accurate when you had the Peter Rabbit saying yes to molestation.
Okay, I guess we left on something semi-entertaining, so we can go
This
now.
show's so awful.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end. Say goodbye. You better go away. I'm gonna leave you. It's the end. Goodbye. Goodbye. Just leave me alone. Feels so good to say goodbye. I'm sick and tired and I'm saying goodbye. Goodbye, girl. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Everybody.
Really don't know what the hell happened.
We started bagging on that episode like midway through the show. It got too depressing, obviously.
Yeah.
You know what we didn't have?
Jokes?
Topics.
Topics? Anything?
Topics.
Being prepared.
We were missing any topics. That's really what happened. There was nothing really to talk about. We didn't spend much time on anything.